Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to Shoe Store episode number 2. So I am currently in Estes, Colorado for a wedding. My best friend from high school is getting married. Shout out to Will. But I'm currently in my truck after grabbing a coffee, shooting some VO for a YouTube short. And so I don't want to do that inside and annoy my parents because my dad is still sleeping. I'm going to go in though after this, make some breakfast, grab my mom, and then we're going to go on a hike. I will bring you guys for that, give you some updates on the store and what's happening with that. I also want to talk to my mom and ask her what she thinks of the shoe store idea, because obviously your parents want to support you, but I want her honest and objective opinions on if she thinks it's a good idea. And so we will have that in this video. Stay tuned. I'm going to timestamp it down below if you want to jump ahead to that and see what Mama Bully has to think. But let's go get some breakfast and say what's up to Maui and the fam. Breakfast is 3 eggs, this Dave's Killer Bread, plain bagel, cold brew, liquid death. Maui, what's up, bro? Maui. Gonna be breaking in these new Vans Crosspath mids. They are freaking sick. All right, Mom is 60 years old. How often would you say you work out a week or exercise?
6 days a week at least. Sometimes 7.
And then how often are you strength training of those 6-7 days?
Usually 3 days a week.
Okay, and then walking every day, I'm guessing?
Usually, at least a 2-mile walk with the dogs, and then I probably get at least 2 5 or 6 mile hikes in with the girlfriends each week.
Nice, that's a way to catch up and be social with them, right?
Yeah, luckily I have 3 great walking groups that I go with each week.
Awesome. And then with exercise stuff, how big is the community element and having friends to do it with you, would you say?
Well, that's pretty important for me, although I do not go to a gym anymore. I go just in my weight room with my trainer, Bondina Palazzo. Yeah, so it's important to me to be able to watch her do the exercises. I don't like to just read it online. I like to watch somebody doing it. So that's pretty important for me. And to have the accountability check-in. I have to check in after I do the exercise, so that's important for me.
All right, Mom, next question.
Okay.
60 years old, turned in March. How important has it been to continue exercising as you've gotten older?
I think it's very important. I just read an article about how at age 60, the aging process accelerates and we lose so much muscle mass and become candidates for cardiovascular issues, type 2 diabetes, among other things. So exercise is super important at this age.
And then I know
also to be able to do long hikes with you like this.
Yeah, 4 miles. We have a scramble at the end over there. But I wanted to know, because growing up, I remember that you didn't exercise as much as you did now. You were obviously very, active, taking us everywhere. But I guess what has changed over the last, 5, 10, 15 years in the sense of you've now started exercising more? What's motivated that?
Well, I was fortunate to be able to retire in 2018 after teaching for 30 years, and I have a lot of time to be able to exercise and stay active. I have 3 great friend groups and a sister-in-law that I hike and walk with every week. So just having the time really has been huge for me anyway.
Okay, but question for you. For anybody who doesn't have time, do you have any tips for, looking back now when we were kids and stuff, what would you have done different knowing how important exercise is now for your health? Would you have exercised more when we were kids, or what would you have done a little bit differently, I guess, if you could do anything differently?
I think having people to help keep you accountable is important. People to walk with or go to the gym with. So I think that's big. Just to have the accountability factor of checking in. I actually have 2 girlfriends who are still teaching, and we check in with each other all the time. Hey, I did my 2-mile walk this morning, or whatever. Just that accountability is good to keep you going.
All right, so I don't think I've ever actually asked you this question, but you've obviously always supported the Vet Fit Friend, and obviously when I transitioned from BarBend to this and left my full-time job, you were a little skeptical and apprehensive, but I want to know, and I feel like the people want to know, what do you think of the store venture and that side of the business? Does it stress you out? Do you believe in it? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like it's a great idea. And of course, I believe in it. I think that you are filling a need that's out there. There's no stores like that right now. So I really feel like you're going to fill a need for people. I think that's a great idea. I feel like you have always, when you've decided on something you want, you've gone for it, and it's worked for you all the way back to when you wanted to be on Kelly and Regis as the dance guy.
Time for the summer dance party, yes! Hey! That guy is Jake Bolee from St. Louis, Missouri. Nice to have you, Jake. What else? Jake's got quite a six-pack there.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I believe he has an eight-pack.
Yeah.
And you made it happen. You wanted to go to college in New York. You made it happen. So I really feel like, yeah, you will rock this venture just like you've done all your others.
Does the financial situation stress you out? Because obviously it's expensive.
Well, I mean, of course. Yeah, I'll be overthinking a lot and stressing for you. So, but you'll make it work. You'll make it work.
Another question I have, and because people always ask, like, is your mom or dad, are they entrepreneurial? And obviously you worked as a teacher. Dad worked his same job for his entire life. Mm-hmm. Do we have any entrepreneurs in our family?
Well, no, not really. Nobody that's gone out and like started their own thing. Not really. Yeah. Everybody's kind of taken the traditional path. And
what are your thoughts on, like what I'm doing and like what Nick, my little brother, is doing with his life, which is like he's had a couple different careers over the last couple of years. He's in this place now where his company laid him off and now he's trying to figure out where he's going next. Like, what do you think of that, though, taking that traditional route? Do you think it's interesting? Does it make you worry? Are you constantly stressed about if we're going to make it work?
Okay, I'm always worried. The people should know that I overthink everything, and I would worry about whatever, no matter what. I think it's great how you and Nick both have done what you've wanted and chosen the paths that you've wanted, and you have not necessarily taken the traditional route. And both of you have had tons of experiences that, not everybody gets to have. So I think you've both made it work. I'm so proud of you. That Fit Friend.
That's true. She's rocking one of the only shirts that I've ever made for that Fit Friend.
It's a collector's item.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on the vlog. I appreciate it. And thanks for coming on the hike today.
Sure. Thanks for taking me on the hike.
I am not going to lie. When we got back from that hike, I did like an hour of work, ate a little meal, and then took a sweet hour-and-a-half long nap. So just waking up here. So if I'm a little bit slow or, my words are a little bit discombobulated, I apologize. But all that to say, this week with the store, 3 updates to report on. Number 1, e-com site and e-com side of the business, and that leg is getting some legs under it. So I have finally decided on a theme for that. I really like it. It's very quick. It's very user focused, and I think it's very intuitive. So I'm excited to get that up and running and start logging in some products there, because I have talked to a few brands who have agreed to start working with me more formally on an e-com basis to at least get the ball rolling. They believe in the vision and they want to start helping me get my foot in with the e-com so I can learn that side of the business and I can get really good at it. So that way when we do have the brick and mortar and then the site to sell shoes on, along with obviously the content site, there will be a nice harmonious feel between the two, and I'll not necessarily be exactly brand new with it. So it'll be good to get some reps in, I think, before, going gung-ho, full-on e-com launch with the brick and mortar. So that's been a nice win this week, and super stoked that the companies believe in the vision, and the folks that I've met through them are very understanding and very cool, and they've been very nice with, helping me in the sense that, hey, I am not necessarily a pro here, what can we do? And then they're working with me on, my skill set and making sure that I'm set up for success with their products. Number 2, I had a meeting with an awesome partner regarding bringing the brick and mortar to life. And what I have learned is that obviously there's a lot that I need to learn in this side of the industry, but having mentors and I think people and partners in your corner to help you out and kind of steadfast a lot of that progress is really huge. And so meeting with them, it was great because they've now put me into contact with a few people who I think will help really expedite my knowledge and learning in this space to make sure I'm doing it correctly, because obviously the last thing I want to do is open up something kind of haphazardly and then, you know, not necessarily be set up for success to scale to multiple locations, because that would be the goal with this. So I think as we get closer to physically building that store, making sure that I just have a dynamite team around me will be really important. And that's something that's been different with That Fit Friend thus far. I've run everything by myself, and obviously I have my mentors, but I haven't really had anybody to work with super closely. So this is definitely new for me. I think there's going to be definitely some learning curves there, and I'm going to have to learn how to, you know, give up some control in the sense of not necessarily being the one-man band that I am now. I think leaning on other people is going to be a good practice in general, and I am super stoked for that. And I can't really share who they are yet and the game plan there, because I do need to keep some things secret and share those as they actually come to fruition. And I don't want to put, you know, I put my mouth here and get ahead of myself. So just to put it out there, I am working with hopefully a retail partner to help me do this correctly, and they've done a lot of awesome brands, and I will share those brands in the future as well. The third little win and progress update this week and thing that I've learned is that with the brand itself, I think more and more I'm realizing the type of archetype of folks who are interacting with the brand and like That Fit Friend and enjoy That Fit Friend. And it's helping me, I think, understand the actual retail and e-com space a little bit better. And I think sometimes I get in my head and I have a really tough time objectively separating myself and how I am with fitness, shoes, consumerism, etc., from the gym pop lifter, athlete, or the person who is just getting into it, or the person who is super into it. And so building out these archetypes, and I think doing a little bit more research regarding the demographics of folks who read my site, follow the YouTube channel, interact with my content, and even just, you know, doing a little bit of digging. And this is something that I've been trying to do a little bit more just in general, is when folks comment on Instagram posts or TikTok, you know, going to their profiles and be like, okay, who is this person? Like, what are they like? How do they lift? How do they language things? And getting a really good idea of these archetypes, I think, is going to really help me understand the language of my videos, content better, and I think just improve everything across the board regarding branding and how to reach different folks. So that has been a nice little win, and it's something that I think I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about yet, because I build content in a way that I like to consume it, and I'm not going to change that. But as we do start going into more e-com and retail verticals, I think it's very important, obviously, to understand who would be the primary customer, who would be the secondary customer, the tertiary customers that, you know, might want to be coming in or might be thinking about coming into this type of footwear store or website, but maybe not convinced or need to understand and be taught a little bit more before they do so. So understanding that has been huge. And so all that said, those are the 3 progress updates this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was fun bringing my mom into a vlog. She was very, very unsure about it. She's never really done any of that. And she kept joking that when she's on camera, she looks like she has stroke face. So please, I ask this of you, to anybody who's still watching right now. I don't ask for subscribers or comments on videos. I think that is silly, and I never do that unless it's like obviously a giveaway. But for the love of God, can you comment on this video and reaffirm her that she doesn't have a stroke face on video, because it's so ludicrous. And it took me a while to realize why I'm so self-critical of myself. Love you, Mom, but she's a little bit self-critical sometimes. So drop a comment. Tell her that she doesn't have stroke face, please, for the love of God. But all that to say, y'all, I will see you guys in the next week's progress update. I will be floating around camping for the next week. This is my last summer hurrah, so expect some really cool content there. And I have a lot of big meetings next week, and literally have booked an Airbnb for a day next week because I had some big meetings. So camping for 5 days, Airbnb for 1. But I will see you guys for the next episode. Drop a like on the video, drop subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys.